Okay guys, so we've seen several videos on YouTube of the Prometheus from Lichtlaerm Audio, and it sounds amazing. In every video so far that I've seen it in, it sounds really good. But today we're going to find out how it stacks up against other amplifiers that are bona fide, brutal, amazing amps. And I've asked you guys which amplifiers you wanted me to shoot the Prometheus out with, and you guys answered, and I appreciate that, so we're going to do that today. Today we're going to shoot out the Prometheus against the Engl Savage Mark II, channel 4, channel 2 of the Redseven Leviathan, and the high gain channel of the Engl Fireball 25 watt KT77 version. And of course, we're going to shoot it out against the red channel on the EVH Stealth 100. Now, some of you have asked me to shoot it out against the Diesel Herbert Mark III, and I really want to do that for you, but for the sake of time, I can't do that in this video because all of the cables associated with the Diesel Herbert Mark III are being used for the Prometheus for this video. They're the longest cables on my in my studio here, and those are the ones I always use for amplifiers that I sit on the table here. So because of that, I can't shoot it out in this video. It just takes too long to hook everything up. But don't worry about it because the other John Brown is going to shoot them out on his channel. So go ahead and subscribe over at his channel and check out his video when he compares both of those amplifiers when he uploads it. Now for this video, I'll be using my Mesa 212 with vintage 30s. I'm going to take the picture down because I'm going to do a close-up on the amplifier here to show you how I have it dialed in. I don't want the picture to interfere with that. But those are the mics associated with it, you know, right there. So take a look at that. So I have the Royer 121 and the Shure SM57 on that cab. Sounds amazing. So all the amps will be shot out on that cab, and I'm also boosting all of the amps with the odd box from Warm Audio. I have them all dialed in perfectly with that pedal right now, and I just think it sounds amazing through all these amps. Yeah, I know, all the boost Karens are going to be upset because I'm using a boost pedal. Oh, such sweet sorrow, isn't it? Their little cries brings so much joy to my little pitter pat. So one other thing, whatever amp appears in the corner down here on the screen, that's the one I'm playing. When you don't see an amp down there, that means I'm playing the Prometheus. Now I've spent a lot of time volume matching all of these amplifiers and making sure that this is as fair as possible. And I'm going to change the riffs up a little bit in each shootout because I don't want you guys to get bored with the same riff over and over again. All right, so let's go ahead and turn on the old camera for the amplifier. I'll show you how I have it dialed in. This is a little different than what I had it dialed in for the original video I did with it. And let's go ahead and play it and hear how it sounds in these settings. I think it sounds incredible. By the way, I did reach out to Daniel and ask him for some tips on dialing this in so I could better understand what the knobs do and everything. And, you know, just to get an idea from the actual builder himself, you know, to make sure I had this in the best settings. And I came up with these settings after talking with him. They're a little different than what he suggested, but I mean, to my ears and in the room here, I think it sounds freaking incredible, and we all like different stuff. So, and Daniel appreciates that as well. He's really enjoying everybody's takes on his amplifier and how they like to dial it in, and it is very flexible, to be honest with you. So I'm finding that out the more I mess with it. So anyways, let's hear how it sounds the way I have it dialed in. Dude, that sounds freaking evil as hell. Sounds awesome. So I have the bite switch over here to the left. I felt like that was the best spot for it. I have the cut knob top dead center because I'm boosting it with the odd box. It adds some, you know, some low end to it, so the cut knob kind of help adjust the amp accordingly. And I got the gain at 3 o'clock. I got the treble just past, it's probably around 2 o'clock. And I have the presence top dead center. Bumped the depth a little bit, or punch, or whatever you want to call it. I think it's depth. I don't know. I can't read from here. But yeah, everything sounds really good the way it is. And let's mess with the mids just for a second and just double check that. All right, I stand corrected. I like it better like that because when I lowered the mids a little bit, it added that little bit of extra texture on the top end and aggression. So I don't know if you heard that. I heard it for sure in the room here through my in-ears. It just instantly got a little nastier. So freaking killer. So these are the settings now. And I just think this thing sounds absolutely incredible. And like I said, it's a lot more flexible of an amplifier than I initially thought. You can get a lot of really good tones out of it. All right, so now let's start with the first shootout. I'm going to put it up against the red channel of the EVH Stealth 100. And here are the settings on the EVH Stealth 100 red channel. So this next shootout is going to be between the Prometheus and the Redseven Leviathan Channel 2. So here's a pic of the settings of the Leviathan. Now I'm going to shoot it out with channel 4 on the Engl Savage Mark II, and here are the settings on the Savage. Now we're going to shoot it out against the Engl Fireball KT77 version. Now that's a 25 watt amplifier, but man, that amp freaking smokes. Sounds amazing. So here are the settings on the Fireball. Let's see how they compare. Well, if you ask me, this amp had a great standing against every one of these amps that I shot it out against. I love all of these amplifiers, and I've had them for a long time, except for the new Fireball. I just got that a couple weeks ago, but I think I got it dialed in really good now. I've spent enough time with it. But these other ones, man, you can weld the knobs where they're at, and those are the best settings of those amplifiers. I've had those amps for years. I know exactly how to dial those amps in, and they're at their best settings. And even with that, the Prometheus stood up to all of them. Now, which one sounded best? Well, that's up to you. I mean, we all have different tastes. We all like different things. I'm not going to pick any winners here. There's a reason why all these amps are on my shelves. It's because I think they're all amazing, you know, and the Prometheus had a good standing against them. It didn't get its ass kicked in any way at all. I don't think it showed any weakness here. I think it showed that it belongs amongst all of these great amplifiers. And when it comes to which amplifier I think it came closest to, I would say if I had to pick one, it would probably be the Savage Mark II. It's got that German thing to it, you know, that really nice scowl in their tone that I love so much, that German accent. I just love German amps. I think they sound amazing. And it's definitely got a little bit of that in there, along with some other stuff. I don't know what his muse was, you know, for this, but it definitely has its own unique thing going on. And I think it sounds incredible. And with these settings, I'll show you them again. With these settings right now, I think this thing sounds the best I've heard it so far. So if you have this amp, try these settings out and tell me what you think. I just think this amp sounds incredible. You know, and the thing is, there's a lot of times when I get an amplifier down here in my studio, and I think it sounds great. And then all of a sudden, I'll start comparing it to different amps, especially my heavy hitters on the shelves, and I'll be like, oh, man, yeah. By itself, it sounds great, but now that I've compared it to these other amplifiers, I'm hearing some weaknesses, or sometimes I'm hearing some strengths in it, you know, when I compare it. And with the Prometheus, what I heard was, like I said, it had a really good standing against all of these amplifiers, and it's up to you to pick whether you liked it better than everything else, or if you liked another amplifier, you know, better than the Prometheus. I mean, that's what these shootouts are for. I'm just trying to show you what they sound like, and you pick the best one that works for you. But one thing I can say, again, is that this thing sounds amazing. The Prometheus is a legit amazing metal amplifier. The clean channel is awesome on it, and the high gain channel just proved itself today in this video. I mean, it sounds incredible. So if you have one, rest assured you made a good choice. And if you're thinking about getting it, just watch this video a few times and really try to pick the best one that works for you. And if the Prometheus stands out as the right choice, then order one. By all means, order one. I think it's awesome. Now, feel and response wise, I didn't notice a huge difference between the Prometheus and the other amplifiers, you know, and that's a good thing because these amps are amazing. Again, that's why I have them on my shelf. So, you know how you play one amp and then you switch to another one, all of a sudden you feel like you have arthritis? I didn't get that feeling at all. I think they all felt amazing to play through, and they all had a great response and took the boost very well. So I'm just so glad that this thing has all of these options on it where you can dial it in and get it to sound like other amplifiers. And you know, for the sake of time, I'm not going to do that in this video, but when I was, you know, doing my initial sound check down here and you know, getting the volumes all the same, I messed around with the knobs a little bit, and you can get this to darken up a little bit like the EVH Stealth red channel, and it can sound pretty damn close to that amplifier. And I bet, I didn't try this, but I bet if I spent more time with it, I could probably get it to mimic the Engl Savage Mark II even more than it already does. Now, I'm not saying that it copied the amp. It definitely has its own sound, but if I was to pick an amplifier that it sounded closest to, it would probably be the Engl Savage Mark II, at least with the settings that I have it in right now. So yeah, freaking incredible, you know, great amplifier. So I hope this video helped you guys out and answered some of your questions, because that's the thing, anytime I demo an amp on this channel, most of the people, when they watch the video, I get in the comment section, are like, well, what does it compare to? And how does it compare to this? And how does it compare to that? So now you know. Well, guys, thanks so much for watching. And again, I want to thank Daniel for sending me this amplifier and allowing me to keep it a little longer so I could do these videos for you guys. And again, I will be profiling it. And when I go live tonight at 7 o'clock, I will be demoing my first profile pack with this for the Quad Cortex. So I hope you join me at 7 o'clock and we can have a hang. I can do a Q&A. I'll play some riffs, mixes, and all that kind of stuff for you guys. And you can check out the preset pack for the first time in tonight's live stream at 7 o'clock. So all you Quad Cortex users, tune in. You're going to love how these sound. They're going to come out freaking amazing. Well, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And to all my subscribers and Patreon supporters, thank you guys so much. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe so you don't miss further episodes or live streams. I got a lot more stuff coming up for you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.